everybody, Jeff from Corrugated Cavalry here, coming to you with another video on Fiore Spear. If you would like to see how I went about creating this trainer, I'll put a link up above to a video on that. So in Fiore Spear, there are really only 6 posta in the spear section. You might be able to assume other positions from other sections of the manual, but in the spear section alone, there are only 6, 3 on the right, 3 on the left, so that's what we'll be focusing on today. In another video later, we can maybe go into some of the other options. So at the beginning of this section, Fiore says the more the spear or lance is extended, the less it deceives. So if you haven't checked out the context video that I did first about this section, I'll put that up above. So mostly this section is considered to be in armor. So because you're in armor, any kind of glancing blows, or really even if it's strong, is as long as it's not into a weak spot in your armor, is not really going to do anything to you. So the idea here is that you want to keep the spear here so you can be a little bit more deceiving with your defense and your attack, basically. Okay, so let's get to the guards. The first one on the right is called Tutta Porta di Ferro. And the Getty manual shows it front weighted, and the hands are apart and this tip is up. Some of the other manuals may show it rear weighted. It's kind of hard to tell, and I've seen a lot of people do it this way. I kind of prefer the front weighted version because then you don't have to shift your weight as you go to make your defense. This is Tutta Porta di Ferro. And he says that you can exchange thrusts with it, which gives you a clue as to the context of a longsword play, the exchange of thrusts. That is definitely relevant to this section of the manual. The next position is Porta di Ferro Mezzana, which is pretty much just like the longsword guard, okay? And with both of these, you're basically a crese and then a passing step, and with a beat and a thrust. I'll get into the technique later. Fiore has some colorful language about Tutta Porta di Ferro, as he is, Porta di Ferro Mezzana. He says, attack and do not flee, so I may do you villainy. Really, that's one of the translations from the Wittenauer. Okay, so the next one on the right side is Posta di Finestra. Just like the sword posta, really, the hands are going to be crossed, and you have to have your hands pretty far back and close together because when you pass, the spear needs to clear your body, and you keep your hands low like you would in exchange of thrusts. Okay, so those are the right side guards. Tutta Porta di Ferro, Porta di Ferro Mezzana, and Posta di Finestra. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have the first one that's shown in the manual is Dente di Zinghiaro. Shown rear-weighted and hands close together. There are a couple possible reasons for this. One could be just to be able to defend above and below, to have a lot of the spear available to defend low or high. Another could be to extend the hands as a way of generating power. Not entirely sure, but this is Dente di Zinghiaro. Okay, and the next one is Vera Croce. And for this one, he says that your opponent has come too close, so you step back and then thrust. There's nothing to say that you couldn't use that posta stepping forward either. I don't see why not. And then you also have Posta di Finestra on this side. So you'll notice with longsword, when you're doing Finestra, your hands will be crossed on one side and uncrossed on the other. However, in all of these spear posta, whichever side of your body the spear is on, so on the left-hand guards, or on the left-hand side of the body, my left hand wants to be close to the tip. And just the same, if the spear's on the right of my body, my right hand wants to be close to the tip. So, with Posta di Finestra on the left, my left hand wants to be near the tip, so my arms are still crossed. Okay, and we step through, and similar to the exchange of thrusts once again. Fiore also says all guards at the point offline are sufficient for wading in if you're facing a long handheld weapon. So that also gives you some clue context for perhaps if you're using sword versus spear or something like that as well. A great video to check out on this stuff is also the Exiles video. I kind of came to a lot of the same conclusions from reading the manual. I do a couple things maybe slightly differently, but I'll post that Exiles video in the information below. And it's great to check out. They post a lot more stuff on Fiore Spear than I've seen other people do. So thank you guys for coming by. I hope you liked the video and found it useful. The next one will be on just some of the actions from these Posta. It's all a beat and an attack, but the footwork differs slightly. So please like, subscribe if you haven't, share this around with people who might find it interesting. You can follow me on Twitter at corrugatedcava1. And yeah, thank you for coming by once again. Be good to each other, and ciao!